At any point, did your mom ever say, I kind of also played a smoking nun at one point in my career? Like, how long until that crazy coincidence came up in conversation?
When did she play a smoking nun?
In Extras, she played with Ricky Gervais. She played.
Oh my God!
Where she is in the full nun outfit, just chugging along at a cigarette.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Guys, I genuinely love this movie. Thank you for taking the time. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Of course. Mr. Del Toro, I'm going to start with you. When you first worked with Wes Anderson, I remember thinking, my God, he has worked with so many amazing directors throughout your career. In addition to Wes, you have Paul Thomas Anderson and Oliver Stone and Steven Soderbergh and Denis Villeneuve. I would love to know, while all of these are just wildly different filmmakers, do all great directors have something in common? Do all great storytellers share one commonality? And over your career, I'd love to know, what's the best piece of direction you've ever received?
Yes, they all have one thing in common. I think that they all lead. They all lead. They all like they're the first ones to show up on the set. They're the first ones to they drive everything. That it's like their idea. They're the first ones to. They're the craziest ones, on the set. So that's what was the other question?
Your favorite piece of direction you've ever received?
Well, I heard it didn't come from a director. It actually came from an actor, Christopher Walken. He said to me, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do anything. And that was Christopher Walken. So if you don't know what you're doing on the scene, just don't do anything.
Wow.
That's a pretty awesome piece of advice. I mean, coming of all people, coming from him.
Yes,
that's pretty amazing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Quite an iconic
I love that.
thing.
Yeah.
I like it.
Michael, speaking of directors, there's this expression that I feel like we use in film journalism. When an actor perfectly fits into a director's vision, a lot of times we'll say, oh, that director just knows how to use that actor. And obviously you fit so perfectly into a Wes Anderson movie, and people are saying that a lot about you and about Wes Anderson. I'd love to know, from an actor's perspective, what does that expression mean when you hear that a director knows how to use an actor?
No, well, I think as an actor, you kind of sometimes read a script and read a part and know whether or not you can deliver it confidently, even if it's a challenge or even if it's something scary or, something you haven't tried before. The whole constellation of like the material and the person directing it and you going into it, you just, for me, it's like a lot of time very clear whether or not I feel I can like go toward it. And getting this script from Wes, it did feel like he set me up for, to with a part that I could have a lot of fun with and really like wrap my arms around. And Wes was very collaborative. We showed up early and we all started working on the scenes and bringing our ideas to it and creating a sense of play with all of us. That's always just a good collaboration when you have a director who's interested in you helping them bring the thing to life.
I love that. Honestly, and I'm not blowing smoke. It's my favorite performance of your entire career.
Oh, that's nice.
And me, I got to say, like, your performance it might be my favorite performance of the entire year. So me, when you are cast in this amazingly brilliant part, and you start telling your family about it, and the topic of a smoking nun comes up. At any point, does your mom ever? I love that. At any point, does your mom ever say, I kind of also played a smoking nun at one point in my career? Like, how long until that crazy coincidence came up in conversation?
When did she play a smoking nun?
In Extras, she played with Ricky Gervais. She played.
Oh my God!
Where she is in the full nun outfit, just chugging along at a cigarette.
That I did not know that. Oh my God!
Specific.
Oh my God, that's hilarious. Well, it didn't come up in conversation because I didn't know that. That's hilarious. I mean, what weird.
Is there a phone call to be had now that this revelation has been unearthed?
I have no idea. The time difference might be too great. She might be asleep by now. I've got no idea.
I just can't imagine waking up from a phone call saying, "Did you play a smoking nun at one point in your career?" without telling me. I love that. Really quickly, Mr. Del Toro, I host a series here in Chicago called The Moments That Made Us, where I look back at the most iconic and memorable moments in movie history with people that made them possible, were a part of them. And if you don't mind, I've always wanted to ask you about shooting the iconic lineup sequence in Usual Suspects. It's one of the most amazing images in the history of a movie, and you get the lines in that moment. I'd just love to know what you remember about shooting that sequence.
I remember that we were all cracking up. We were all laughing, and I don't think Bryan Singer wanted to do that in one take.
Right.
And everyone just broke character, including myself. We were all laughing. We got the giggles.
Yeah.
And we were grown-up men, and we were like seventh graders. And he managed to use different takes, but he couldn't get one shot. He wanted to get one shot, couldn't get one shot. Kevin Pollak, it was just hilarious. And, Gabriel Byrne, Kevin Spacey, and Stephen Baldwin. It was just like it was really funny. But don't ask me why. It was funny, but no one knows.
It's magic.
Yeah, it was that. Yeah. It was that moment.
It is magic, and this movie is magic, guys. If you can't tell, I'm just such a film nerd for these kinds of things. Thank you for having a geek out nerdy conversation. I love you guys. I love this film, and your time really means a lot to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys.
Where we're going, we don't need roads.